Today we have something you don't see very often, a Mercedes Maybach GLS 600. Now in 2014, Maybach was re-established as a sub-brand of Mercedes-Benz, and following the success of the S-Class with over 60,000 examples sold worldwide, Mercedes decided to give a Maybach treatment to its flagship SUV, the GLS. So the question is, what differs the Maybach from the regular GLS? Well, the backseat was pushed back to benefit passengers in the second row. You can get 2 individual chairs or a classic bench with 3 seats. There are special color options including two-tone paints that cost over $14,000, exclusive treatment to the interior and unique design elements on the exterior that make this SUV even more distinguished. The GLS 600 gets only one engine option, and no, it's not a V12 despite what the badge might suggest. Under the hood sits a well-known mild hybrid setup with a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 producing 550 horsepower and 538 pound-feet of torque, which was paired to a 9-speed conventional automatic, transferring the power to all 4 wheels. In terms of chassis, the front suspension is a double wishbone setup with all control arms and steering knuckles made of aluminum for weight reduction and extra rigidity, and the same applies to the 4-link rear suspension, which is also largely made of aluminum. The Airmatic air suspension with air shocks built into dampers was combined with the e-active body control system that can individually control spring and damping forces at each wheel, eliminating rolling, pitching, and lifting movements which you usually experience under acceleration, braking, or when taking corners. Additionally, the system uses a camera to scan the road ahead of you to prepare the chassis for impacts or to reduce a body roll. Now, before we talk how it all works together, let's jump inside and cover the interior space. The interior of the GLS 600 has been carried over from the regular GLS when it comes to design, but the quality is on another level. At the end of the day, the cabin of a vehicle that wears a Maybach badge should be all about luxury and unique experience. And that's the case with the GLS 600. You feel very special inside, and that feeling is elevated with all the touch points. Everything you interact with is wrapped in real Nappa leather, whether we're talking about the seats, dashboard, heated armrest, or the headliner. You get a lot of physical controls, which is always good to see, that have nice, solid click to them, and the Maybach variant gets a dedicated fragrance that gets diffused from the HVAC system. The cabin features 2 12.3-inch displays, with the first one being a very customizable digital cluster allowing you to change the design of your gauges, show driver assist information, or display a full screen map. The second one is an infotainment display running previous generation MBUX system, still remaining one of my favorites in the industry. It has a clean graphical interface and is relatively easy to use. You can control it via a touchscreen, touchpad, or capacitive controls on the steering wheel. Unfortunately, unlike the S-Class, the GLS doesn't get 2 individual screens for the passengers in the second row. Here, you only get a tablet placed in the middle which controls various car functions such as massaging seats, ambient lighting, sunshades, or multimedia. Speaking of multimedia, a 27-speaker Burmester 3D audio system provides a phenomenal sound quality at any volume level, no matter what type of music you're listening to, and you can select various DSP modes or optimize the audio quality to each seat individually. Mercedes didn't forget about a luxury experience even for the chauffeur, unless you decide to drive your Maybach. The front seats are one of the most comfortable I've ever sat in. You can adjust them in multiple different ways, select one of the massaging modes including hot stone massage, and obviously have them heated or cooled. But the truth is, the backseat is where you want to be at in the GLS 600. You get highly adjustable 2 individual massaging seats that recline, folding tables, and heated and cooled cup holders. The legroom is very impressive, but surprisingly, not as good as in the S-Class. Lastly, the trunk. Due to the second row being pushed back and the placement of refrigerator for your beverages, you only get 18.4 cubic feet of space. Alright, so that was the interior of the Maybach GLS 600. Let's take it on the road now and see how it drives. Setting off in a Maybach mode, which puts the suspension in its softest setting, flattens the accelerator curve, and changes the transmission tuning for smooth driving, made me feel completely isolated from the outside world, and I looked for every excuse to get behind the wheel, just to cruise around. And I say it as a car enthusiast who loves feeling connected to the vehicle. So, what is so special about driving the GLS 600? Well, mainly it's the ride quality. The car literally floats over every surface and it feels like you're on a magic carpet, barely feeling any road imperfections. It's impressively compliant over bumps and transmits a little in the way of intrusion to the cabin, even with 22-inch wheels fitted on my tester. Now, one thing I noticed is that the ride is a little bit less refined compared to the S-Class, but we have to take under consideration the fact that the GLS is a heavier vehicle and the suspension has more work to do. Besides that, the driving experience is pretty similar to the one in the S580 I reviewed last year. Everything, including gas pedal, brakes, and steering, is tuned for comfort. There's an active sound cancellation system, all windows are laminated, and engineers put deadening materials in every single possible spot to make the cabin very quiet. The V8 has a very smooth characteristics with a progressive power delivery and more than enough torque for seamless acceleration. And to make driving more effortless, the Maybach GLS comes with a great set of driver assistance systems, such as an automatic braking with pedestrian detection, adaptive cruise control with curve adaptation, steering assist and automatic lane changing, active blind spot monitoring and lane keeping assist with automatic steering, traffic sign recognition which can work together with a cruise control to adjust the speed based on the speed limit, phenomenal intelligent light system matrix LED headlights, or an active emergency stop assist which can completely stop the car if the driver or chauffeur is unresponsive. So that was the Mercedes Maybach GLS 600. With everything we covered, let's jump to the conclusion. The Mercedes Maybach GLS 600 is without a doubt an SUV with undeniable presence, great technology and exceptional ride quality, but I have to admit, as an overall package, it doesn't feel quite as special as the S-Class. The sedan seems to be more luxury-oriented with slightly better ride quality and more amenities for the passengers in the second row, feeling like it was designed with a Maybach variant in mind, unlike the GLS. However, if you're looking for a practical, ultra-luxury SUV that will carry your family and don't want to get a Bentley Bentayga, the GLS is a very interesting proposition. Pricing starts at $170,000 and my tester was priced at roughly $175,000. Thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you later.